So for this project, we're going to get started with this sugar and cream yarn, as well as a 4mm crochet hook. You can use any yarn that you prefer, but I'll also go ahead and leave a link to this product in the descriptions below in case you want to use this yarn as well. Now we're going to go ahead and get started by making a slip knot, and you can do this in any way you'd prefer. Now once you've created your knot, we're going to make 21 chain stitches. To do a chain, yarn over your hook and pull it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're going to go ahead and create 21 chains in total. After creating 21 chain stitches, we're going to go ahead and do single crochets going all across the row. We're going to start by skipping the first chain, and we're going to do our first single crochet in the second chain stitch here. Now to do a single crochet, insert your hook inside that second chain and pull up a loop. Now you'll have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops. That's how you do a single crochet, and I'll go ahead and show you how to do another. Insert your hook inside the chain, pull through a loop. That's going to leave us with 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull the yarn through both loops. Now we're going to continue doing single crochets in each stitch going across the row until we're at the end. And it's really easy to do. Again, just insert your hook, pull up a loop. With 2 loops on the hook, we yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops. So continue doing that going across the row. Now once you've completed the single crochets going across the row, your work should look like this, and you should have 20 single crochets in total. Now we're going to go ahead and chain 1 and turn or work. In the first stitch, which is here, we're going to do a single crochet in that stitch as well. We'll do that by inserting our hook under the stitch like this, yarning over and pulling up a loop. With 2 loops on the hook, we're going to yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops to complete the single crochet. And we'll be doing single crochets in each stitch going across the row, and in this row we'll have 20 single crochets as well. So again, insert your hook under the stitch like that, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, we yarn over, pull the yarn through both loops, insert and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull the yarn through both loops. We insert under the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops. Now go ahead and continue doing single crochets going all the way across the row. So in the last stitch, which is here, we do our last single crochet. And then at the end of the row, we chain 1, we turn our work, and then we repeat. So we insert our hook under the next stitch, which is here, and pull up a loop. We yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops, and we continue doing single crochets until we're at the end of the row. This is how the third row will look after completing, and we'll actually also be doing 50 rows in total. So I want you to complete your rows of single crochets as I have demonstrated until you've completed 50 rows of single crochets in total. After creating 50 rows of single crochets, your project will look something like this. Now we can stop here by cutting our yarn and pulling it all the way through. Now after creating the first panel for our bag, we're actually going to create 3 more panels. Now one panel will be just the same as this one, which only includes the 50 rows of single crochets. The other 2 panels will have an extra piece here that we'll use as handles. So go ahead and create 2 panels that are exactly the same, and I'll show you how to create this panel that has the handle. And I have an example here for you as well. This panel here, and then we have this piece going forward as our handle. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make this piece. Now I've gone ahead and created a panel where we have our 20 single crochets at the bottom, and we've created 50 rows of single crochets in total. And I'm going to show you how we go ahead and do the piece for our handle. Now we're going to start by making 81 chains. So to make a chain, yarn over and pull the yarn through the loop for your first chain. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you're going to go ahead and create 81 chains in total. Now after creating 81 chains, your work will look something like this, where you'll have your chain stitches coming directly from your panel here. So this is 81 chains in total, and we're going to continue this by doing 80 single crochets going all the way down. So we're going to start by skipping our first chain stitch, and in the second stitch we're going to do our first single crochet, and in each stitch going across the row we're going to do the single crochet. So insert your hook inside the stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops. We've already learned how to do single crochets, so we're going to continue doing single crochets again in each stitch going across the row. So continue doing that all the way going through to the end here. Now I've gone ahead and done my single crochets going all the way across the row, and now I'm at my final chain stitch. So that is here. So this would have been my first chain stitch that I did, and I'm going to do this a bit differently, where I'm going to insert my hook inside the chain and pull up a loop, but I won't complete the single crochet. Instead, in the first stitch here, which is our first stitch of the panel going across, I'm going to insert my hook under that stitch as well, yarn over and pull up a loop. So now I have 3 loops on my hook, and I'm going to yarn over and pull the yarn through all 3 loops, and this is going to represent our corner for our handle. And on that corner I'm gonna go ahead and place a stitch marker so that I know where it is, because that stitch will be repeated. Now I'm going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch going across the row. So insert your hook and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops for that single crochet, and we're going to continue doing single crochets until we're at the end of the row. So continue doing that, going all the way across. Now at the end of the row, we'll continue as normal with our single crochets. And then we'll chain one and turn or work and do single crochets going across the row here as well. So continue doing single crochets until we're at our stitch marker here. Now closer to the end of the row here, we're going to do a single crochet, and on the stitch where we have our stitch marker, we're going to remove it, complete a single crochet on that stitch where the marker was, and then we're going to place the stitch marker right back on it. Now continue doing single crochets until you're at the end of the row. So we're going to do our single crochets here in each stitch, going all the way across. And closer to the end of the row here, we're just going to continue doing single crochets again until we're at our last stitch, which is here. And once we've done our last single crochet of the row, we're going to chain one, turn or work, and work a single crochet in that first stitch. And we're going to continue doing single crochets going all the way across the row. This time we're going to do our single crochets all the way across until we get to our marker. So now we've gotten to where our stitch marker is, which is right here. At this point, we're going to remove the stitch marker, and then we're going to do what we did before, where we insert our hook inside the stitch and pull up a loop, but we're not going to complete the single crochet. Instead, we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch, pulling up a loop, and then we're going to yarn over and pull the yarn through all 3 loops on the hook. Now, if you'd like to make your handle larger, you can go ahead and place your stitch marker back here so that you'll know the point for your corner. And then we're just going to go ahead and continue by doing single crochets going across the row. And in our last stitch here, again, we do that as normal, where we complete a single crochet, chain one, and turn or work, and then we just complete single crochets. Going all the way across the row. Now once you get to the stitch marker, we're just going to go ahead and remove it. And then we're going to do on this side, going upwards, we're going to do 1 single crochet. Then place your stitch marker back on, but that's only if you decide to make your handle thicker than this. For this particular project, this will be my final row. This is where I'll be stopping for this handle, but if you'd like a thicker handle, then do single crochets going all the way up. And then once you come back down and you're at the stitch marker here, you're going to do the single crochet 2 together, where we pull up a loop here and here, and then complete the single crochet before doing single crochets going across the row. So that's pretty much how we continue the project. If you'd like to make it larger from here, but for this particular project for me, this is where I'll be stopping. I'm going to go ahead and continue doing single crochets going all the way up to complete my handle for this bag. Now once we get to the end of the row, we're just going to make our loop larger and cut our yarn, again pulling it all the way through. Now again, we'll need 4 panels for this bag. I've gone ahead and done 2 panels here, so this one and this one, and these are the 2 that would have the 20 single crochets at the bottom and 50 rows in total. But I also did these 2 panels where we have the handles here. Now to put these pieces together, we're going to rearrange them from this and turn them into something that looks like this. So starting with our piece that has the handle that goes to the top as is shown in the diagram here. So this is the piece with the handle. And then taking a regular piece, no handle, goes right beside it to the side. So this here, no handle, goes right beside it here to the side. Taking the other piece with the handle, which is here, it would go right here. And then our final piece, which is this piece, goes right here. Now, if you're a beginner, you can go ahead and use stitch markers to hold the pieces into place while you stitch them together. I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can go about stitching your pieces together. Also, just for reference of like how to put the pieces together, from here, this piece that has the handle would be our first piece. This piece going to the side over here, this is our second piece that we're gonna put together. So we're gonna put these together first. Then this piece going down with the next handle is our third piece. And this piece going to the side over on that side is our fourth piece. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to put together sides 1 and 2. Now we're going to start by taking our yarn and our crochet hook. This piece going upward that has our handle, we're going to start by inserting our hook right here at the bottom, so right here in the last piece here. We're also going to go ahead and insert our hook inside the bottom piece there. So, and we're gonna do that from the extreme back. So at the, let me see, this is the piece. We're going to be inserting our hook from the back of the stitch. So it would be like that. Now taking the yarn, we're going to take a new piece of yarn here, wrap it around your finger, and we're just going to hook it and pull it through both. So now we have a loop on the hook. And I'm just going to turn it a bit for reference. Now you'll see the single crochets going across the row, and at the end of the row you'll kind of see a small bump here. That's where we'll be inserting our hook, and you can also like hook it, pull it up a bit so that the hook is easier to go through. Once inserted on the other side, which is here, on this side, we're going to be inserting our hook from the back. We also at this point want to keep the yarn down, so it's going to be under our hook at all times. On this side, we're going to insert our hook through the back here. And taking our working yarn, we're going to yarn over, pull it through this one first, and then we're going to pull it through these two loops, so here and here. So let me show you how to do that again. We're going to find the next row of single crochets, so that's going to be this row going across. We're going to locate the bump there, which is here. Insert your hook. And on this side, we're going to locate our next stitch. So we've done it here, which means our next stitch is here. We're going to insert our hook from the back of the stitch, like that. Taking our working yarn, we're going to yarn over and pull it through. And then we're going to pull the yarn through these two loops as well. And we're going to pretty much do that going all the way across. So again, we find our next row, which is the third row here, going across of single crochets. The bump that's there, we're going to insert our hook. On the other side, on this side, we're going to find the next stitch, insert our hook from the back. We're going to yarn over and pull it through. Then we're going to pull the yarn through both loops here. And we're pretty much going to continue that going all the way down. And closer to the end of the row, we're pretty much going to end it in the same way that we started, whereby we insert our hook into the next stitch, which is coming from this row. And then in the last stitch over here, we're going to insert our hook from the back, yarning over and pulling the yarn through that side first, and then this side, then pulling it through the loop. Now I've gone ahead and cut a generous amount of yarn, and this will help to seal the sides together going on this side, because we're gonna do it going all the way up. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and attach the other sides for the base. So this is our other panel that has a handle, and in this way, just like we see on the diagram with the handle going this way, we're going to attach it right here. And I'm going to turn it a bit so that it's easier for me to do. Now we're going to take our yarn and wrap it around our finger, and we're going to insert our hook right in the intersection of this stitch and this stitch. So right here. And on this side, we're going to insert our hook from the back of the stitch. That's right here. Taking our yarn, we're going to yarn over, pull it through this stitch, then we're going to yarn over and pull it through this stitch as well. And we're pretty much going to repeat what we did before. So in the first round, that's here, the first stitch, so right here, this round, we're going to go ahead and insert our hook inside the first stitch. And then on this side, where we have our next stitch here, we're going to insert our hook from the back, yarning over and pulling through a loop on that side. Then we're going to pull that same loop through on this side. Then we're going to pull that through the loop. Now in the next row, which is here, we insert our hook on this side. In the next stitch, which is here, we're going to insert our hook from the back. We're going to yarn over and pull the yarn through. We're going to pull it through on this side as well, and then pull it through the loop. So it's pretty much the same thing that we did on the other panel, and I'll just do another. So in this stitch, I'm going to insert our hook in the stitch on this side, which is here, which is our next stitch. We're going to insert our hook from the back like that. We're going to yarn over and pull the yarn through. We're going to pull it through on this side as well, and then pull it through the loop. So you can go ahead and continue going all the way across. So from the base, I've gone ahead and joined these pieces together. So this one is our first handle piece. This one is the piece without a handle. And then this one is our second handle piece here. So I'm gonna always reference the diagram where we have the first piece, the second piece, and the third piece. At the bottom, we've joined it. So now for our final piece, we're going to go ahead and do it here. Now we're going to pretty much attach it in the exact same way that we've been doing so far. We can start from the innermost corner, which is here, as well as the extreme center. So where we did our intersection for these pieces, we're just going to go ahead and insert here as well. And we want to place the yarn through all three panels the center piece in the middle. And from there, you can go ahead and pull your yarn through, attaching it going all the way across. And we do the same on this side going down as well. So this is what your work will look like after putting the base of all the pieces together. So I've done this side, I've done this side going down, this side going across, where you see the intersection here and here. And I personally think that it's easier to do the base first before we go ahead and do the sides, because then there will be no confusion as it relates to which sides will go together. So now I can go ahead and show you how to go about putting each side together. Now remember, I would have left yarn in place to complete the stitch. And I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it to make it easier for me. Now I can see clearly that this would have been my last stitch, and this is coming from this row, which means that my next stitch is here. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert. And on this side is the same. I can see clearly where my last stitch is coming from here, which means that this is my next stitch. So I'm going to insert my hook from the back. It's the same thing as we've done so far. Yarn over and pull through this side. We're going to pull through that side, and then we're going to pull through the loop. So in the next stitch, which is here, we're going to go ahead and insert our hook inside the stitch. And then we're going to go ahead and find the stitch on this side. So the last stitch is coming from here, which means that the next stitch is coming from this row. So we're going to go ahead and insert it inside the stitch that aligns with that row. Yarn over and pull through on this side. Then we're going to pull through on this side and pull it through the loop. Now it gets a little bit trickier on this side, so you can take your time as we join the sides going all the way up. The next row for me would fall here. So this row, I'm going to go ahead and find the stitch that aligns with that. For me, that is here. And I'm going to do the same for the next side. You can pull on the yarn to see where your last stitch is coming from. I can see that the next stitch would align here, so I'm going to insert from the back. Yarn over and pull the yarn through this side, pull the yarn through this side as well, and then pull it through the loop. And I'm going to continue to take my time going up. I'll do a few more. So again, the next stitch would lie here. We're going to insert our hook inside the stitch. The next stitch on this side falls here, so we're going to insert our hook inside that stitch as well. Yarn over and pull through. Pull through and pull through the loop. And we're pretty much going to do that going all the way up. So I've gone ahead and completed most of the pattern to get the sides together on this side. And we're just going to go in with the last few stitches. So we're going to do this very similarly to what we've done before, where we're going to insert our hook on both sides there. Then we're going to yarn over, pull the loop through this side, pull the loop through that side, and then pull the yarn through the loop here. And I also like to do it on the far corner to kind of give it a close knit look. So I'm going to insert my hook through the stitch on this side. And then I'm going to insert my hook through the next stitch, which falls here. Yarn over and pull the loop through. Pull the loop through. I'm going to pull the yarn through this loop as well. Now that's my final stitch. I'm going to pull through a loop. I'm going to cut my yarn, pulling it all the way through. Now you'll see where this side is much shorter than the side here, and that's fine. That's exactly what we want. Now that we've done our base fully, we know where to go ahead and do our sides. So I want you to go ahead and do the side in exactly the way that we've done here, going all the way around this project. So this is what the project should look like after joining all the sides together. And you'll see that it makes this kind of triangular shape going around, which is really pretty. And now I'm going to show you how to go ahead and attach your handles. You'd already have one naturally coming from this side panel, but on the other side, you'd have to go ahead and pretty much sew it on like I've done here. And I'll go ahead and show you how to do that with this side panel. Now for this, you'll need a crochet needle. I've already gone ahead and double knotted my yarn that's coming from the panel here to my needle. So you can just go ahead and secure your yarn to the needle. Make sure that everything is aligned before you do any attachments. And then I like to set, I'm gonna go ahead and align mine in this way where the bottom of my handle aligns with the side, like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just sew it into place. So I'm gonna insert my needle through both sides, pulling it through. And this doesn't have to be like super neat or defined here. We just really want to get the pieces together. Now, once finished, we're just gonna go ahead and make a knot here. I'm gonna hold my knot in place, pulling my crochet needle through. I'm gonna cut my yarn since I don't have any more length, and just pull it through here. Now, where you may have some excess yarn, you can go ahead and insert it into a crochet needle and just stitch it through the back of the stitches on the inside of the bag here. So I'm just gonna put my needle through, since the yarn is short. I'm gonna put my needle through the stitches here first, and then I'm gonna go ahead and insert my yarn, pulling it all the way through. And you can do that method for any excess piece that you may have. Now this is the final product. If you found this tutorial helpful, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so as yet. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!